Did not children early. Please be seated. Graduates, families of graduates, faculty and friends of UAF, welcome and happy Mother's Day. This is UAF's 85th year and the 80th commencement. Before we begin, I would like to thank the Frank family singers who led our processional with the Snow Geese song. They've laid the foundation for today's ceremony. The family members are Kenneth and Carolyn, who is receiving her Master of Education degree today, UAF student Crystal, and Tashina and Isaac. Joining them are Lawrence Roberts, Shayla Carney, and David Salmon. Reverend Gerald Arnowski will give the invocation. Will everyone please stand?
Creator God, Lord of the universe, look with graciousness upon us assembled here on this graduation day. Let your blessing be upon our graduates and students, upon our instructors, administrators, and staff, upon the alumni of this university, and upon our parents, relatives, and friends. These graduates move from the halls of learning to the halls of life at a difficult moment in the history of America. Lord, show them how the gifts you have given them are not for mere self-aggrandizement, but are intended to be their contribution to your unfolding plan for the good of all humanity. The motto of this university calls these graduates ad summum, that is, to the heights of human achievement in the natural sciences, art and music, in humanities and social science, engineering and technology, in languages, culture, and communication. There is yet one more summit to be attained. These graduates, and all of us, have also to scale the heights of goodness and virtue, of truth and justice, of universal love and compassion. Be our teacher, Lord. Only when we learn the science of the saints will we be truly universal men and women. Without that science, our learning could all too easily turn us to pride and division. Our success could lead to superiority and discrimination. Our achievements to greed, self-indulgence, and exploitation. And the very gifts you have given us could become the instruments for the misery and devastation of humanity and the earth. Alaska, this great land, inspires us to great deeds. May they be deeds of goodness and beauty and truth, deeds of honesty and integrity, deeds of love and sharing and understanding. Teach us, Lord, the final lesson of life, that we need to know not only how the heavens go, but also how to go to heaven. We give you thanks and praise, you who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce members of the University of Alaska Board of Regents and statewide administration who are with us today. I ask that you hold your applause until they all are standing. Michael J. Burns from Anchorage, past chair of the board. Joseph Hardenbrook, student regent from UAF, who represents all University of Alaska students. You'll see Joe later when he receives his diploma. Brian Rogers from Fairbanks, treasurer of the board. Francis Rose from Anchorage, secretary of the board. Joe J. Thomas from from Fairbanks, and representing the University of Alaska statewide system, President Mark Hamilton. Please join me in welcoming all these special guests. There are also some people in the audience I'd like to recognize. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Grace Scheibel, the chair of the UA Foundation Board of Trustees and former member of the Board of Regents. Enid Cutler, wife of the first chancellor of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, the late Dr. Howard Cutler. With her today is Dada, a member of the Anata Marga Spiritual Organization. Arthur S. Buswell, former University of Alaska Vice President for Public Service and a dedicated supporter of higher education in Alaska. Also, I'm pleased to introduce Earl Beislein, first provost of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. And I believe also with us today is the mayor of the Fairbanks North Star Borough, Mayor Rhonda Boyles. Each year, the outstanding graduating senior man has been recognized by receiving the Joel Weigert Award. This award was established in 1966 by the Fairbanks Building Trades Council and the Fairbanks Central Labor Council in honor of Mr. Weigert. Mr. Weigert and his late wife, the former Nancy Loftus, were strong supporters of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. We are honored to have Mr. Weigert with us today as he is here to see his grandson, Ryan Soley, graduate. Please help me welcome Mr. Weigert back to the University of Alaska. There are also some several former members of the Board of Regents with us today. Will you please stand? We are grateful to them for their hard work on behalf of the University of Alaska. Our speaker today is recognized for his contribution to broadcasting, not only through more than a decade of service to the national and foreign desk of National Public Radio, but also to the people of Alaska. His first radio experience was at a bilingual English Yupik Eskimo station in Bethel, Alaska. He was born in Fairbanks and before joining NPR was executive producer for the Alaska Public Radio Network, where he won a Corporation for the Public Broadcasting Silver Award for his coverage of the 1989 Exxon Valdez oil spill. He also worked as a television reporter, editor, and producer. While at KYUK TV, he wrote and produced a number of documentaries, including Eyes of the Spirit and They Never Asked Our Fathers. He recently returned from 6 months in Mongolia, where he served as a Knight International Press Fellow, teaching journalism and radio production at remote radio stations. Because of his significant achievements and lasting contributions to the state and the nation, he will receive an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree during the ceremony today. Please help me welcome your Commencement 2002 keynote speaker, Corey Flintoff.
It's a great privilege to speak at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. My earliest life was linked to this institution, and part of my family history is here. My father was born not far from this campus in a tent on a mining claim up Goldstream Creek. He aspired to study at this university, but except for a short course in soil sampling, he was never able to manage it. I imagine he'd be pleased to know that I'm speaking here, and especially to learn that I'm being presented with an honorary degree. But being a Fairbanksan to the core, I think he would have been much more impressed if it had been a degree from the School of Mines. I'm also proud to say that I'm a grandson of Otto Geist, the University of Alaska paleontologist for whom Geist Road is named. I spent the first year of my life in his house in Lomita. It was a cabin with a fossil bone fence. My father and mother, Al and Marjorie Flintoff, shared that house with Otto in 1945 and 1946. Otto extended his hospitality to a lot of interesting people in those days. They were explorers and adventurers and scientists, most of them on their way to and from the North Slope or the Bering Strait. Even after we'd moved into a house of our own, Otto continued to bring his friends there. Being a confirmed bachelor, Otto's hospitality consisted mostly of breaking the seal on a bottle of whiskey and opening another box of cigars. But these adventurers always had to eat sooner or later, and my mother could usually be sweet-talked into cooking dinner for them. I don't remember much of the after-dinner conversation, except that it ranged from Alaska to just about every part of the world where adventure was to be had. Many of Otto's friends were of the old order of swashbuckling adventurers who aren't so much admired anymore. They were big game hunters and professional collectors, people like Roy Chapman Andrews. He was one of Otto's pals from the Explorers Club in New York. Roy Chapman Andrews was the man who discovered the first dinosaur eggs in the South Gobi Desert in Mongolia in the 1920s. He's thought by some people to be the prototype for the movie hero Indiana Jones. When I was 13, I went with Otto on one of his last expeditions up to the Ikpikpuk River on the North Slope. By that time, he was a crusty, leathery old guy. He had a beak on him like a raven, and his hands were formed into claws by arthritis and frostbite. He wore a plaid shirt all the time, smelled of sweat and cigars and Army surplus DDT. I was the assistant cook and bottle washer on a trip that gathered everything from pressed flowers to mammoth skulls to human skulls. I couldn't have asked for a more thrilling adventure, or one that was better suited to my age and experience, because it was orchestrated by a grand old man who'd been a spiritual 13-year-old for about 60 years. I've never gotten over that experience. In a way, I've never stopped looking for experiences that would give me the same sense of living life to its fullest. My most recent attempt was just last year, when my family and I spent 6 months teaching in Mongolia. Now, when people start bragging on themselves like this, you know they're about to pontificate, and I'm no different, actually. I just wanted to establish my credentials before I did that. The conventional thing to say on an occasion like this is that you're about to leave the cloistered halls of academia and embark on the great adventure of life. That doesn't exactly apply at a school where the average graduate is somewhat over 30. Many of you embarked on your adventures a long time ago, and you came to the university to fulfill new goals. Many of you embarked long enough ago to appreciate that the university experience isn't a narrowly vocational one. You came here to enhance your sense of the wonder of this life, to help yourselves appreciate the world in a more complex and subtle way. Some score of you are here to crown your experience with doctoral degrees. You chose this university as the base for your research and your original thought. The conventional image, though, is that you've been sheltered here and that you're now about to set off on your life's adventure. Unfortunately, that's often the exact opposite of what really happens to people when they graduate from the university. Too often, people leave the spiritual and intellectual and physical adventures of college life, and they enter the mundane world of making a living and conforming to the lives of their not very interesting peers. The great adventure of life turns out to be something you watch on the Discovery Channel after work. Over the past 50 years or so, our culture's done some very interesting things with the concepts of adventure and experience. On the one hand, adventure and experience have been sanitized and commercialized and virtualized into safe and profitable games and rides at theme parks by Disney and Universal Studios. It's possible to raise your adrenaline levels and enjoy a quite satisfying feeling of recklessness by taking a family adventure ride at Disney World. The only hardship is waiting online in those human cattle chutes, and the only danger is that some kid will have left his gum on your seat. A lot of Americans today regard themselves as living adventurous lives if they get the family to one of those fancified amusement parks a couple times a year. Video games do the same things for some people. They raise your adrenaline and give you a sense of risk without even the danger of driving to a theme park on the freeway. The other end of adventure, the spectrum in our culture, the one with real challenges and real dangers, is just as pernicious in its way. It's the world of extreme sports. Brave souls bungee jump and hang glide and skydive in an effort to make the sensation of adventure real. The trouble with extreme sports is that they compress the moments of excitement into very small, efficient packages that have no other goal than the sensation itself. It's an adventure-like experience that's been stripped down to fit into our busy lifestyles. It's possible to leave an unproductive job in the city and spend your weekend on a dirt bike or in a parachute harness, but the adventure doesn't take you very far as a person. Ultimately, an extreme sport is just another hobby. So what is adventure, and why should we look for it? I'll grant you it's not the true men's magazine adventure that I grew up around. Otto Geist and Roy Chapman Andrews are less admired today because they were holdovers from the colonial era. They thought in terms of dominating nature and plundering history. They were recklessly acquisitive, and they treated scientific problems in much the way that Alexander the Great is said to have treated the Gordian knot. If it was difficult to untie, it was easy to cut. Our notions about the adventurous life have evolved, but adventure still involves risk, it still involves difficulty, it still involves staying power. Adrenaline and excitement are byproducts of the adventurous life. They're not its goals. The adventurous life is not a work week of drudgery punctuated by weekends of capsulated excitement. You achieve the adventurous life when your work and your life are intertwined, and when your work and your life have goals that really matter. Sometimes life forces adventure on us. Last fall, it brought the terrible calamity of September 11th. Who knew that thousands of people would be killed on a beautiful fall day in New York City, or that thousands more people would become heroes because the occasion demanded it of them? Who knew that Americans would emerge stronger and more united and much more keenly aware of what really mattered in their lives? One of the catchphrases that seemed to define America over the last 20 years was the saying, "He who dies with the most toys wins." It was a grasping, hyper-competitive creed that was all about acquiring goods. Let's hope that the post-9/11 era will be one in which doing takes precedence over getting. That, after all, is much more the American way. Americans, by and large, don't boast about what their ancestors had. They boast about what their ancestors did. Do we carry the burden of our ancestors' unfulfilled dreams? Are we obliged to accomplish the things that they didn't do? Yes, to some extent we are. If my father couldn't get the university education he wished for, then it's up to me to try. Our ideas about the nature of the task change from generation to generation, but the task is still the same. That's the real adventure. It's adventurous to devote your life to grappling with problems, whether they're physical or intellectual, scientific or social. It's adventurous to keep yourself in situations where your learning curve is always steep, where it always matters whether you succeed or fail. It's adventurous to devote yourself to ideals, to reforms, to protections, to improvements, to the advancement of human knowledge. You can live an adventurous life as a teacher or an entrepreneur, a social worker or a scientist, a lawyer or a journalist, or any of the other pursuits that you'll embark on when you leave this university. The point is that you be passionate about what you're doing. That's the real legacy of the adventurers who helped found and build this university. Otto Geist came to this institution because he was passionate about illuminating Alaska's prehistory. Hundreds of people like him have attended this university and gone on to make their marks in life because they had passion. In closing, let me observe one thing that's very much in favor of your success in the realm of real adventure, the realm of passion-driven endeavors. And the fact that you chose to attend the University of Alaska Fairbanks already says that you have a sense of adventure, and probably a sense of humor, too. You wouldn't be in this state if you were willing to settle for a safe and commonplace experience. You wouldn't be on this campus if you weren't willing to challenge yourself, to exert yourself, to reach farther than you thought you could go. My hope and my wish for you is that you'll continue to challenge yourselves throughout your careers and that you'll reap the rewards of an adventurous life. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Regent Rogers, will you please join me? Will the candidates for Doctor of Philosophy degrees please rise? Will the candidates for master's degrees please rise? Will the candidates for baccalaureate degrees please rise? And will the candidates for associate degrees and certificates please rise? Regent Rogers, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the faculty of the University of Alaska Fairbanks to present these candidates. Their names appear in the official commencement program for certificates and associate, baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees. They have fulfilled all academic requirements for their respective certificates or degrees, and I recommend that they now receive those certificates and diplomas.
Thank you, Chancellor. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents of the University of Alaska, under the Constitution of the State of Alaska, and upon the recommendation of the Chancellor and the faculty of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and in the presence of your friends, your family, and the community, I confer upon you the certificates or associate, baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2002, let's have another round of applause for them. Would you please be seated? Dr. Paul Reichart, Provost, will present the certificate and degree candidates by college and school.
The candidates for certificates and associate, bachelor's, and master's degrees will now be presented. We ask that the audience withhold applause until the last candidate from each college or school has received his or her diploma. Joining Regent Rogers and Chancellor Lind at the front of the stage for the presentation of the diplomas is President Hamilton. As the graduates leave the stage, a member of the UAF Alumni Association Board of Directors will greet them. The gold cords on the shoulders of certain associate and bachelor degree candidates indicate they are being graduated with academic honors. An explanation of these honors will be found in your program. Associate, baccalaureate, and master degree candidates from the College of Liberal Arts will be presented by Dean John Leipzig.
Will the degree candidates from the College of Liberal Arts please rise and come forward?
Bobby Lee David Andrews, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science, cum laude. Charles Armstrong, Bachelor of Arts, English, magna cum laude. Charlie is this year's recipient of the Joel Weigert Award, given to the outstanding graduating senior man. Heidi Catherine Atkinson, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Art, magna cum laude. Zelma Joseph Axford, Bachelor of Arts, Alaska Native Studies. Lance P. Barella, Bachelor of Arts, Japanese Studies. Emily Bates, Bachelor of Arts, English, cum laude. Paul S. Williams, Jr., Associate of Applied Science, Native Language Education. Jamie L. Batten, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. Luke Joseph Beckel, Bachelor of Arts, English. Melissa June Blue, Bachelor of Science, Anthropology. Gerald Mark Breen, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Rebecca D. Brownlee, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism. Bjorn Carlson, Bachelor of Arts, History. Kyan Nikush Carlo, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Richard Bannister Carr, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Daniel E. Carrier, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Kathy A. Carter, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. Joshua Matthew Chasen, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science, Fire Science, Bachelor of Technology, Emergency Services. Abigail V. Koffel, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Bessie Cooley, Bachelor of Arts, Alaska Native Studies, cum laude. Heather B. Cox, Bachelor of Arts, Russian Studies. Melinda Cortez, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Scott Crass, Bachelor of Arts in Art. Amber Elaine Darlin, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism, magna cum laude. Marta Dirmus, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Sociology, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Rhonda L. Dolnick, Bachelor of Arts, Northern Studies. Mariah Meadow Doyle Stevenson, Bachelor of Arts in Art, cum laude. Holly Ann Dragus, Bachelor of Arts, Japanese Studies, magna cum laude. Jennifer G. Duff, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science, Emergency Services Municipal Fire Control, and Bachelor of Technology, Emergency Services. Bonnie Lynn Edmondson, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, Bachelor of Arts, Alaska Native Studies, cum laude. Bonnie is this year's recipient of the Gray S. Tilley Memorial Award, given to a non-traditional graduating senior whose education was interrupted because of family responsibilities and/or financial hardships. Annie Amanda Ellis, Bachelor of Arts, English. Aaron Elterman, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism, cum laude. Mark Edward Elton, Bachelor of Arts, History. Shannon Lee Fett, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism. Kimberly A. Four, Bachelor of Arts, Communication. Lisa Renee Freeman, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Tanya Dawn Garnett, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Sociology, Bachelor of Arts, Alaska Native Studies. Kelly A. Halverson Engel, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Melissa Ann Garrison, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Katrina Michelle Govlik, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Catherine F. Gell, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Rita P. Gerendakis, Bachelor of Arts, English. Corey M. Goodman, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Aaron Grossel, Bachelor of Arts, Communication. Hans S. Gunderson, Bachelor of Arts, History. Susan Ann Guritz, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, cum laude. Guy Daniel Guy, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science, Human Service Technology, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Patricia Frances Harmon, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Joseph Garrett Hardenbrook, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science, cum laude. Aretha A. Hill Tyus, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Fletcher Joseph Hiram, Bachelor of Arts, Theater. Rebecca Jo Holland, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Heather Marie Holzapfel, Bachelor of Music, Performance, cum laude. Jennifer A. Hoppo, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science, Paralegal Studies, Bachelor of Arts, English. Dolores L. Huffman, Bachelor of Arts, Anthropology. Hiroko Ikuta, Bachelor of Arts, Anthropology, cum laude. Aaron M.P. Jacobson, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language, Bachelor of Arts, History, cum laude. Suzanne E. Jacobson, Bachelor of Arts, History. Christine A. Jenkins, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Stephanie R. Jez, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Music, Music Education, K through 12, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Elena Jean Johnson, Bachelor of Arts, Justice, cum laude. John Wesley Johnson, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Latanya R. Jones, Bachelor of Arts, History, cum laude. Francine Kazanoff, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language, summa cum laude. Patricia Kieran, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Ada S. Kamzina, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Art, cum laude. Christopher Harold Kunuka, Bachelor of Arts, Yupik Eskimo. Susan K. Larrabee, Bachelor of Arts, History. Dean R. Leonard III, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Catherine Carter Lewis, Bachelor of Arts, Theater. Patrick Thomas Lyons, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Heather Moss, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language, magna cum laude. Heather is this year's recipient of the Marion Frances Boswell Memorial Award, given to the outstanding graduating senior woman. Jennifer Louise McDowell, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, History, Bachelor of Arts, Japanese Studies, cum laude. Deidre McMullen, Bachelor of Arts, English, magna cum laude. Allison Eileen Miller, Bachelor of Arts, English. Melody Faith Morris, Bachelor of Arts, Communication. Brenda Henzie Nelson, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Jennifer Neslin, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism. Janelle Shedler O'Brien, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Deborah Ann Parks, Bachelor of Arts, History. Denise Perez, Bachelor of Arts in Art. Allison Kathleen Pierce, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. Amy Prickett, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work, cum laude. Jeremy David Rachel, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Anna Maria Richards, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language. Dave Christopher Richards, Bachelor of Arts and Sciences in Arts and Sciences, cum laude. Edward T. Robinson II, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art. Carrie Colleen Rosenberg, Bachelor of Music, Music Education K through 12. Amelia M. Rurup, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Travis Taps Russin, Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Tamra Lene Shaw, Bachelor of Arts, Theater. Colleen Irene Sisk, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. Mida Lee Amawek Snyder, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science. Eric Paul Sparrow, Bachelor of Arts, English. Jennifer Michelle Spradlin, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language, cum laude. Kirsten Steen, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism. Gabriel Scott, Bachelor of Arts, Sociology. Ben Thompson, Bachelor of Arts, Theater. Kirk Vincent Thorstensen, Bachelor of Arts, History. James Trexler, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science. Melissa Dawn Irvina, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Jacqueline Jamie Venable, Bachelor of Arts in Art. Erin Alicia Sawong Sang Sai, Bachelor of Arts, Justice. Thomas R. Weiss, Bachelor of Technology. Amanda I. Wall, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism. Ava Adele Stenzel, Bachelor of Arts, Foreign Language, cum laude. Sherry L. Wall, Bachelor of Technology, magna cum laude. Bradley Wayoana, Bachelor of Arts, Anthropology, Inupiaq Eskimo. Carol M. Wilbur, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art. Joy N. Wilkinson, Bachelor of Arts, Political Science. Martha M. Williams, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. Amy Kate Woodruff, Bachelor of Arts, Journalism, cum laude. Kim Takara Yamamoto, Bachelor of Arts, Japanese Studies. Jeremy Charles Yanni, Bachelor of Arts, English, cum laude. Joel Young, Bachelor of Arts, Social Work. And now the master's degree recipients. Chris Allen, Master of Arts, Northern Studies. Martin Gutowski, Master of Arts, Anthropology. Maureen Harwood, Master of Arts, Northern Studies. David Eric Jessup, Master of Arts, Northern Studies. Marion A. Jones, Master of Arts, English. Jonathan Matuzitz, Master of Arts, Professional Communication. Ronald J. Burr Neely, Jr., Master of Arts, Northern Studies. Jennifer I. M. Newton, Master of Arts, Anthropology. Aaron C. Robertson, Master of Arts, Anthropology.
Will Ron Rockhold please come forward? Ron is here to receive a degree earned by his wife Sharon, who passed away this summer after a tragic accident. Sharon was a native Alaskan, born in Fairbanks, and she achieved many goals during her lifetime. She was an excellent student and believed that one person could make a difference in this world. She had planned to teach young children and hoped to instill in them her deep love for the arts, which she expressed through poetry, music, and drawing. Sharon was a devoted wife and loving mother of a son and 2 daughters. Her greatest strength was never being afraid of failure as she pursued her ambitions. One of her favorite expressions was, whether you come in first or last, you don't quit the race until you've crossed the finish line. Many of Sharon's immediate family are here today to celebrate her achievements, and I ask them to stand as her husband receives her diploma.
Sharon Bell Rockhold, Bachelor of Arts in Art.
Please congratulate all of the degree recipients from the College of Liberal Arts.
Certificate, associate, baccalaureate, and master's degree candidates from the College of Rural Alaska will be presented by Executive Dean Bernice Joseph. With this group, we are pleased to recognize the University of Alaska Anchorage nursing students who completed their degree requirements with UAF.
Will the degree candidates from the College of Rural Alaska and the University of Alaska Anchorage Nursing Program please rise and come forward?
Rhonda D. Benish Shepard, Certificate, Applied Business Management. Uncha H. Fisher, Certificate, Accounting Technician. Mark R. Hansen, Certificate, Applied Business Management. Jocelyn Sue Martin, Certificate, Accounting Technician. Julie M. Merrill, 2 certificates, Certificate, Medical Dental Reception, Certificate, Phlebotomy. Sylvia L. Thruston, 3 certificates, Certificate, Culinary Arts, Certificate, Culinary Arts Cooking, Certificate, Culinary Arts Baking. M. Lita Valandra, Certificate, Rural Human Services. Sarah Beth Arnold, 2 certificates and 1 degree, Certificate in Applied Business Management, Certificate in Accounting Technician, and Associate of Applied Science in Applied Business. Danielle P. Baham, 1 certificate and 1 degree, Certificate in Medical Dental Reception and Associate of Applied Science Medical Assistant. Marianne Barnes, 1 certificate and 1 degree, Certificate in Medical Dental Reception, Associate of Applied Science Medical Assistant. Amy Nicole Brown, Associate of Arts, cum laude. Nelta D. Burgess, 1 certificate and 1 degree, Certificate in Applied Business Management and Associate of Applied Science in Applied Business. Deborah K. Busby, 1 certificate and 1 degree, Certificate in Applied Business Management and Associate of Applied Science in Applied Business. Robert L. Casto, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist, cum laude. Martha Cowell, 1 certificate and 1 degree, Certificate, Accounting Technician, and Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting. Marjorie Dooley, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science in Applied Business and Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting. Terry Diane Ekaluk, Associate of Applied Science, Medical Assistant, magna cum laude. Curtis D. Forbes, 2 degrees, Associate of Applied Science, Fire Science, Hazardous Materials Control, and Associate of Applied Science in Fire Science, Municipal Fire Control. Carol Garber, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Business. Sophia Maria Gradney, a certificate and 2 degrees, Certificate in Applied Business Management, an Associate of Arts, and Associate of Applied Science in Applied Business. Retta Christina Hosier, Associate of Applied Science, Human Service Technology, magna cum laude. Anthony Wayne Hubanks, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist, cum laude. Christine C. Johnson, Associate of Applied Science, Human Service Technology, magna cum laude. Janice Key, Associate of Applied Science, Human Service Technology, cum laude. Ronald Lee Lind, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist, magna cum laude. Darlene M. Lord, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Business. Rolf J. Lorenz, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Business. Melissa Jean Lund, Associate of Arts. Denise Adrian Mansfield, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting, cum laude. Kathleen M. McCauley, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist. Jill A. Mattill, Associate of Arts. Sean A. Murphy, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist. Denise Lisa Olin, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Phillips, a certificate and a degree, Certificate, Accounting Technician, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting, cum laude. Joshua Huntley Pobrislow, Associate of Applied Science, Emergency Services. Randall E. Rice, 2 certificates and 1 degree. Certificate Culinary Arts Cooking, Certificate Culinary Arts Baking, and Associate of Applied Science in Culinary Arts. Nathan P. Sapp, Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist. Penny Lynn Sewell, Associate of Applied Science, Paralegal Studies. Dawn M. Simmons, 3 degrees. Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting. Associate of Applied Science, Applied Business Entrepreneurship, and Associate of Applied Science, Applied Business Computer Applications, magna cum laude. Leslie E. Smallwood, Jr., a certificate and a degree. Certificate, Microcomputer Support Specialist, and Associate of Applied Science, Microcomputer Support Specialist, magna cum laude. Lynette R. Straw, Associate of Applied Science, Paralegal Studies. Ulrich J. Ulron, Associate of Arts. Mary Frances Willey, Associate of Applied Science, Early Childhood Education. Virginia Marie Williams, Associate of Arts. Mary L. Wisdom, Associate of Applied Science, Applied Accounting, cum laude. Tanya Woods, Associate of Applied Science, Emergency Services. Katina D. Gobert Young, Associate of Arts. From the nursing program at the University of Alaska Anchorage, the associate's degree recipients. Bonnie Alt, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Brad Aaron Bell, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Jamie Brink, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Shelley Burleson, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Becca A. Duke, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Lauren Hutchison, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Janice Johnson, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Connie Jo Moore, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Jessica Jean Richardson, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Diana Anita Robinson, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Melanie Renee Roselle, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. David Scordelis, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Veronica Reed Stevenson, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. Jana Michelle Welch, Associate of Applied Science, Nursing. The baccalaureate recipients from the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Nicholas R. Charles, Jr., Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development. Joanne Gustafson, Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development. Mary Virginia Sage, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Arts in Rural Development. Rex Dino Snyder, Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development. Russell Adrian Nungasak Snyder, Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development. Michelle Lynn Wayawana, Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development, cum laude. Brenda L. Wynn Duty, Bachelor of Arts, Rural Development. Christopher James Kayana, Sr., Master of Arts, Rural Development.
Okay, please congratulate the degree recipients from the College of Rural Alaska and the University of Alaska Anchorage.
Baccalaureate and master's degree candidates from the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics will be presented by Dean David Woodall.
Will the degree candidates from the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics please rise and come forward?
Nicole Lavon Aaron, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Victoria Dawn Abels, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Amanda Sue Allen, Bachelor of Arts, Biological Sciences. Danielle L. Arnold, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, cum laude. Aaron Burns Athanas, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Kimberly Ann Austin, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, cum laude. Augustino Joseph Bacher, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Joshua J. Bacon, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Brandy L. Burkbigler, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Christian James Blankenship, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, cum laude. Deanna L. Bradley, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Donald Allen Bradshaw, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Anna Laura Bryan, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Lisa Marie Chamberlain, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Ryan M. Korick, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, cum laude. Christopher E. Cruz, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, Bachelor of Science, Wildlife Biology. Thomas Eugene Duncan, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Brian Englund, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. David Kenji Fisher, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Kyan R. Gowans, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics. Zachary D. Gravogel, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Christina May Greiman, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Laurel Nicole Ann Hardwar, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Myron Chadwick Hosier, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, cum laude. Yashinori Irie. Joy Eisen Gonzalez, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Christopher M. Johns, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, Bachelor of Science, Statistics, cum laude. Zenith A. Klein, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Catherine B. Knorr, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Andrew L. Crone, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Bryce Lake, Bachelor of Science, Wildlife Biology, cum laude. Varden D. Lapan, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Aram Nathaniel Lasis, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Andrew C. Lee, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Susan R. Lieb, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. James Michael Maley, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Carolyn S. Maniaci, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Kelly Ann Mansfield, 2 degrees. Bachelor of Arts, Journalism, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences. Serena M. Markey, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, magna cum laude. Michael S. McCarty, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Darren Ken Moberg, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, cum laude. Jason Christopher Mirmo, Bachelor of Science, Biological Sciences, magna cum laude. Nathan John Pamperin, Bachelor of Science, Wildlife Biology, magna cum laude. Daniel Sanford Peterson, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Simon D. Prentice, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, magna cum laude. Ryan Elaine Purcell, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Jason Allen Rower, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Jason M. Sakalaskis, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Jimmy R. Scarborough, Jr., Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Kate Lillian Schetzel, Bachelor of Science, Chemistry. Justin P. Stevenson, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, cum laude. Louis Martinez Terrazas, Bachelor of Science, Wildlife Biology. Chip Vaughn, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering, magna cum laude. Nathan Marcus Vogely, 3 degrees, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, Bachelor of Arts, Philosophy, Bachelor of Arts, Physics, cum laude. Anna Waski, 2 degrees, Bachelor of Arts, Physics, Bachelor of Science, Mathematics, cum laude. William Wessels, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Walker S. Wheeler, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Travis Wayne Williams, Bachelor of Science, Geology. Brian Shea Wilson, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Damon Zimmerman, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. And now the master's degree recipients. Eric S. Davis, Master of Science, Computer Science. Tina Louise Drake, Master of Science, Environmental Quality Science. Hoojin Jin, Master of Civil Engineering. Galen R. Johnson, Master of Science, Engineering Management. Ipshi Mahaji, Master of Science, Environmental Quality Engineering. Amber R. Mant, Master of Science, Environmental Quality Engineering. Juliet Amy Neville, Master of Science, Wildlife Biology. Rory J. O'Neill, Master of Science, Engineering Management. Christopher H. Roach, Master of Science, Civil Engineering. Imogene Pearl Rombach, Master of Science, Biology. Walter J. Wilcox II, Master of Science, Environmental Chemistry. David Matthew Wilkinson, Master of Science, Indoor Air Quality Management. Mark Roy Wilkinson, Master of Science, Science Management.
Please congratulate the degree recipients from the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics.
Baccalaureate and master's degree candidates from the School of Agriculture and Land Resources Management will be presented by Interim Dean Carol Lewis.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Agriculture and Land Resources Management please rise and come forward?
Jennifer L. Arsenault, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management, cum laude. Craig W. Bosfeld, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management. Kara Dunham, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management, cum laude. Mark Thomas Fortunato, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management. Nayuki Kato, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management. Marie Ann Klingman, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management, magna cum laude. Jeffrey Douglas MacArthur, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management, cum laude. Mark Gregory McCart, Bachelor of Science, Geography. Mayuki Tachibana, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management. Kathleen Marie Cheetah, Bachelor of Science, Geography. Stephen Edward Winslow, Bachelor of Science, Natural Resources Management, cum laude. And the master's degree recipients. Amy Nicole Davis, Master of Science, Natural Resources Management. Jamie Hollingsworth, Master of Science, Natural Resources Management.
Please congratulate the degree recipients from the School of Agriculture and Land Resources Management.
Baccalaureate and master's degree candidates from the School of Education will be presented by Dean Roger Norris Tull.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Education please rise and come forward?
Paula Ann Addis, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Sperry C. Ash, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Kara Ann Beck, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, cum laude. Orion Beckwar Dean, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, cum laude. Melissa Marie Byers, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Jan Helene Cabanas, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, magna cum laude. Lana M. Davidson, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, magna cum laude. Michelle May Gordon, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Crystal Dawn Green, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Christina Marie Hamilton, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Alicia L. Kangas, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Robert Forrest Long, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Karen K. McManus, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, cum laude. Karen Perkowski, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Layla May Eileen Rains, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Andrea Amaris Seekins, Bachelor of Education, Elementary, cum laude. Lucy Ellen Smythe, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Tina L. Sweet, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Carissa Thompson, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Melissa Marie Van Hassert, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. Vida May Van Hatten, Bachelor of Education, Elementary. And now the master's degree recipients. Janice L. Campos, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Michelle M. Dammel, Master of Education. Lynn Marie Eldridge, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Ann M. Ginn, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Esperanza Daniela Gara, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Janelle Hedgecock, Master of Education. Carol Marie Tollefson Henry, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Alice Cramblett Hoffman, Master of Education. Michael F. Martin, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Susan McIntosh, Master of Education. Paul Nicholas Morley, Master of Education. Doug Noon, Master of Education. Jenny May Louise Olive, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Kimberly A. Ortoski, Master of Education, Guidance and Counseling. Karma Zimmerman Roth, Master of Arts in Teaching, Elementary Education. Caroline M. Tritt Frank, Master of Education in Education.
Please join me in congratulating the School of Education degree recipients.
Baccalaureate and master's degree candidates from the School of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences will be presented by Dean Vera Alexander.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences please rise and come forward?
Ryan Sully, Bachelor of Science, Fisheries. And the master's degree recipient, James W. Saveride, Master of Science, Fisheries.
Please congratulate the graduates from the School of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences.
Baccalaureate and master degree candidates from the School of Management were presented by Dean James Collins.
Will the degree candidates from the School of Management please rise and come forward?
Timothy Armbruster, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Kara Ann Armstrong, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing. Craig Thomas X, Bachelor of Business Administration, Finance. Jennifer Michelle Baldwin, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Brian Lee Cade, Bachelor of Business Administration, Finance. Julie E.T. Chang, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing. Louise A. Chikigak, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Mary Christabel Sobrapina Domingo, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing. Brenda L. Moses Ehrlich, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Dallas Ferguson, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Nathan Hall, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Rebecca Jane Hageberg, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Judy Ann Higgs, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Aaron Chilton Hines, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Chad Lincoln Hutchison, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Aaron Lake, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing. Rita K. Leek, Bachelor of Business Administration, Marketing. Marcia S. Lee, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Yvonne Blanche Leroy Landers, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Diana Lisa Lindhag, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting. Richard L. Music, 3 degrees, Associate of Arts, Bachelor of Technology, and Bachelor of Business Administration in Management. Scott Nelson, Bachelor of Arts, Economics. Stephanie J. Nisler, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Christina Nussbaumer, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Heather Marie Paulo, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management and Organizations. Nava M. Peterson, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management. Supachari Jane Pitakashkorn, Bachelor of Business Administration, Finance, cum laude. William W. Renfrew, Bachelor of Business Administration, Management. Joyce Marie Seacates, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting, magna cum laude. Leanne C. Somerville, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Suzanne Marie Swift, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. Angie Mae Vale, Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting, cum laude. James Lionel Williams, 2 degrees, Associate of Arts and Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting. And now the master's degree recipients. Cecilia Marie Kelly Barch, Master of Business Administration, General Management. Dmitry Batsev, Master of Business Administration, Capital Markets. Kamel Xavier Burawi Kari, Master of Business Administration, Capital Markets. Susan Denise Fisher, Master of Business Administration, General Management. Warren Gerald Frazier II, Master of Business Administration, General Management. Ward E. Person, Master of Business Administration, Capital Markets. Kimberly K. Robinson, Master of Business Administration, Capital Markets. Sarah Lynn Russell, Master of Science, Resource and Applied Economics. Ala L. Cerebrova, Master of Business Administration, Capital Markets.
Please congratulate the degree recipients from the School of Management.
Baccalaureate and master's degree candidates from the School of Mineral Engineering will be presented by Dean Sukumar Bandapattar.
Will the degree candidates of the School of Mineral Engineering please rise and come forward?
Christopher Michael Chandler, Bachelor of Science, Geological Engineering. Robin Ann Nelson, Bachelor of Science, Geological Engineering. Kari K. Patterson, Bachelor of Science, Petroleum Engineering. And now the master's degree recipient, Weizong Pan, Master of Science, Petroleum Engineering.
Please congratulate the degree recipients from the School of Mineral Engineering. Thank you.
Doctor of Philosophy degree candidates will be presented by Dr. Joseph Kahn, Dean of the Graduate School.
We now come to the highest degree awarded by the university, the Doctor of Philosophy degree. There are 19 candidates for this degree at UAF this year, and we are very pleased that 11 of them are with us today. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, in conferring the doctoral degree, it is our custom that over the shoulders of the recipient will be placed the Doctor of Philosophy hood bearing the colors of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. The diploma will be presented by Regent Rose and Provost Reichert, and the hood will be placed by Chancellor Lin, President Hamilton, and the degree candidate's major professor. Please be seated. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Eichelberger, please present Scott Dreyer.
Scott Dreyer, PhD, Geology. His thesis title is The Physical Volcanology and Petrology of the 3,400 years before present caldera-forming eruption of Aniakchak Volcano, Alaska. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. John C. Eichelberger.
Please recognize Dr. Dre. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Fremuller, please present Hilary Fletcher.
Hilary J. Fletcher, PhD, Geophysics. Her thesis title is Crustal Deformation in Alaska Measures Using the Global Positioning System. She is escorted by her major professor, Dr. Jeffrey T. Freimuller. Wait.
Please recognize Dr. Fletcher. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Boyer, please present Chris Hundermark.
Chris Joseph Hundertmark, PhD, Biological Sciences, Wildlife Biology. His thesis title is Phylogeography of Moose, Alces, Genetic Signatures of Population History. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. R. Terry Boyer.
Please recognize Dr. Hundermark. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor White, please present James Lawler.
James Patrick Lawler, PhD, Biological Sciences, Wildlife Biology. His thesis title is Heat Increment and Methane Production by Muskoxen Fed Browse. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. Robert Gordon White.
Please recognize Dr. Lawler. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Rose, please present Brian Pearson.
Brian T. Pearson, PhD, Biological Sciences, Biology. His thesis title is Herbivore-Mediated Effects on Ecosystem Processes in a Near-Arctic Salt Marsh. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. Roger W. Roos.
Please recognize Dr. Pearson. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Boyer, please present David Person.
David Person, Ph.D., Biological Sciences, Wildlife Biology. His thesis title is Alexander Archipelago Wolves, Ecology and Population Viability in a Disturbed Insular Landscape. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. R. Terry Boyer.
Please recognize Dr. Person. From the College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Watkins, please present Rooney Storvold.
Runa Storvold, Ph.D., Atmospheric Sciences. His thesis title is Experimental and Theoretical Investigation of Stratospheric Ozone Depletion in the Northern Hemisphere caused by Heterogeneous Chemistry. He is escorted by Dr. Brenton Watkins for his major professor, Dr. Newt Hemrick Stamnus.
Please recognize Dr. Storvold. From the School of Agriculture and Land Resource Management, Professor Ping, please present Xiaoyan Dai.
Cheyenne Dai, Ph.D., Soil Chemistry, Interdisciplinary Program. Her thesis title is Bioavailability and Chemical Characterization of Soil Organic Matter in Arctic Soils. She is escorted by her major professor, Dr. Chenlu Ping.
Please recognize Dr. Dai. From the School of Agriculture and Land Resource Management, Professor Sparrow, please present David Maddox.
David C. Maddox, Ph.D., Applied Wetland Science, Interdisciplinary Program. His thesis title is Constructed Wetlands for Wastewater Treatment in the Subarctic. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. Stephen D. Sparrow.
Please recognize Dr. Maddox. From the School of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, Professors Finney and Jude, please present Valerie Barber.
Valerie Barber, Ph.D., Earth System Science, Interdisciplinary Program. Her thesis title is Millennial to Annual Scale Paleoclimatic Change in Central Alaska During the Late Quaternary, interpreted from lake sediments and tree rings. She is escorted by her major professors, Dr. Bruce P. Finney and Dr. Glenn P. Jude.
Please recognize Dr. Barber. From the School of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences, Professor Henricks, please present John Tershek.
John Andrew Tershek, PhD, Oceanography, Chemical. His thesis title is Phenanthrene Adsorption and Desorption by Melanoidins and Marine Sediment Humic Acids. He is escorted by his major professor, Dr. Susan M. Henricks.
Please recognize Dr. Tershek. Once again, please congratulate all of those receiving Doctor of Philosophy degrees today.
Now I wish to recognize the many family members who helped the class of 2002 reach this day. I would like for all of the parents, the spouses, the children, the grandparents, and other relatives to stand up. We thank you for your help and confidence as these graduates reach their goals. Will members of Phi Kappa Phi and Golden Key please rise? Phi Kappa Phi and Golden Key are national honor societies that recognize outstanding academic achievement in all fields of study and in all scholarly disciplines. Graduating members are acknowledged in the commencement program. Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud of your achievements and congratulations. Now, will those receiving leadership honors please rise? The Associated Students of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, to recognize and honor student leadership contributions to UAF, implemented this award. Those honored today were selected on the basis of their contributions to the achievement of the UAF mission and of the communities in which our campuses are located, and for their promotion of student life through individual and collective growth. Please join me in congratulating these outstanding student leaders. Dr. Carla Kurtz, Dean of Student Services, will introduce the speaker for the class of 2002.
It is my pleasure and honor to introduce Amy Woodruff, the student commencement speaker for the class of 2002. Amy came to UAF from Gallatin High School in Missouri, where she was an active high school student, excelling in 3 sports, track and field, softball, and basketball, receiving superior ratings in choir and band performances, and achieving the pinnacle of her high school academic performance by graduation as the valedictorian of her class. Come on over, Amy. When the prospect of coming to Alaska on a basketball scholarship first surfaced for Amy, her immediate response was, "No way. Anywhere but Alaska." Needless to say, she reconsidered. Now, as a journalism major at UAF, guess what her favorite writing topic is? Her Alaskan experiences. Drawing from her high school experience, Amy has excelled at UAF in the classroom as well as in sports. As a member of the women's basketball team, better known to us as the Lady Nanooks, Amy has served diligently and responsibly as a role model and a student ambassador for UAF. In addition to receiving her degree today, Amy is also graduating with academic and leadership honors. With her journalism degree in hand, Amy wants to secure a promotions job with a professional sports team or become a sports information specialist at a university. I know she's thinking Florida for a job, but I wonder if she'd be willing to reconsider UAF. Given her talents and her career goals, Amy's resume is already impressive. First, she's a published author, which is probably a really good thing for a journalism major. She's also been a public relations intern with a minor league baseball team, a grounds crew member at a country club, a teacher's aide in mathematics, a high school assistant coach for softball, and a swimming instructor. In her spare time, she is active in community services and organizations such as Boys and Girls Club, the Student Athletes Advisory Board, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Meals on Wheels, and on and on. It's no wonder her parents, Frank and Kay, are proud to be here today to celebrate commencement with her. From the Show Me State to the land of the midnight sun, Amy has demonstrated phenomenal success. However, she's not done yet. I'm confident she'll show us that her time at UAF was only the beginning of her success. Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2002, your commencement speaker, Amy Woodruff.
Can you hear me now? Here we are, we're done. We shook the chancellor's hand, grabbed our empty diploma folder, and tossed our tassels to the other side of our square hats. Well, most of us did, I think. For some of us, this journey has been 4 quick years. Others have progressed on the 5 to 8 year plan, and the rest of you take a more gradual route. Every one of us has a different story of how we trek through college, but all tales come to the same conclusion. All of us are graduating from the University of Alaska Fairbanks on this May 12th, 2002, and will soon start a new chapter in our lives. To aid with this life-altering transition, I offer you the 7 Ups of life. I hope my 7 steps will help you to be successful in both your occupation and in your life. Number 1, wake up. Every single morning when you wake up, decide to have a good day. In the poem Attitude, Charles Swindoll said, "The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. I am convinced life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it." We always have a choice of how to react to a situation. Always. When we wake up, we have been given a new day to use as we will. What you do in those 24 hours is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. The attitude you embrace for that day not only affects you, but also the people around you. We also have the choice of reacting optimistically or pessimistically to the actions of other people. Attitude is everything, so make a conscious choice about your daily attitude. Grandma Moses said, "Life is what you make it, always has been, always will be." When you wake up, decide to have a good day, and as you prepare for the new day that is filled with great opportunities, look in the mirror and smile at yourself. That brings me to number 2, which is dress up with a smile. A smile is an inexpensive way to improve your life. By smiling, you not only have helped yourself to decide to have a good day, but you have also brightened someone else's day, week, or maybe even their entire life. A smile is also an inexpensive gift, the gift of love. Cheryl Burnett, a college basketball coach, once said, "No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care." People don't care what kind of diploma hangs on your wall, especially if you don't really care about their situation. By smiling, you convey loving attention, encouragement, and friendliness. Sharing a happy face is a silent gift of understanding and kindness. Dressing up with a smile will display both your friendly characteristics and your willingness to brighten someone else's day. Another way to boost an attitude is to actually listen to what people have to say. So as number 3 states, shut up. Most humans were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. This seems to be a subtle hint at which is more important, listening or speaking. We can't learn anything new if we're always talking. To be open to other ideas, close your mouth and listen. I mean, really listen. Don't be staring at the red Coca-Cola clock on the wall or the blue Mustang driving by. Instead, look into the speaker's eyes, avoid interrupting, and put in a convincing agreeing nod every once in a while. Show that you care about what they are saying. Listen attentively, but when it is your turn to talk, speak with confidence and speak with passion. To do this, follow number 4, stand up for what you believe. We are all products of individual experience. Every person has a different opinion than you do, so be sure to speak loud and clear when voicing your ideas. Don't acknowledge things with your lips, then deny it by your lifestyle, because people won't believe in your words. Live what you preach. Prove what you believe in through your daily actions. As Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true." Don't let anyone stand in the way of your beliefs. By standing up for what you believe in, people will respect you and your thoughts, allowing you to strive for higher goals. This brings me to number 5, which is look up. When you walk down the street, keep your eyes off the tips of your white Reeboks. When you drive down the road, don't just look at the black pavement in front of you. Be sure to notice the yellow leaves on the tree, the lake that reflects the nearby mountain range, or maybe that cloud in the sky that looks like an armadillo. Unless you try to do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. Life goes by pretty fast. You better take time to look around. Allow yourself to look at the opportunities that surround you, then take the extra step and follow number 6, which is reach up for something higher. Set goals and every day work to accomplish those attainable dreams. Goal setting is the strongest force for human motivation and will help you keep your life on track. By setting goals, you will continuously feel personal triumphs when your targets have been hit. If you have a list of goals, you will always have desire and motivation in your life. According to Oscar Wilde, the world is divided into 2 classes, those who believe the incredible and those who do the improbable. It's your choice which class you reach up for. Reaching up isn't the conclusion to success, though. The final stage is number 7, step up. After seeing the potential possibilities, step up and take the responsibility to make things happen. Looking up won't make any difference in your life if you don't get motivated enough to actually step up, take matters into your own hands, and do what you gotta do. You're now a college graduate. People will look up to you. People will respect you. That is, if you have the determination to step up. According to Tommy Lasorda, the difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination. If you step up with determination and confidence, you're well on your way to a successful path in life. Now, these 7 steps I just gave you aren't going to make you invincible or anything, but hopefully, just maybe, they will help you find success after you leave the Carlson today and start a new chapter in your life as a college graduate. Congratulations to you, class of 2002.
Thank you very much, Amy. It's an honor and a pleasure to have the President of the University of Alaska statewide system with us. Please again welcome President Mark Hamilton.
I saw in the program that I'm near the end of it, so hang in there. I'm going to talk to you for 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to do something for me. I actually want you to do the same thing 3 times, I guess. I want you to thank 3 people. Sometime in the next 24 hours, literally thank 3 people. First one is I want you to thank yourself. You made a kind of a compact that you'd stick with it, and you did. Thank yourself. Just sit down and say, we did it, and think a little bit about how you did it. At this stage of your career, a lot of people done now say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's simply not true. See, anybody can have a good day, and several can have a good course. But to put together several courses leading to a degree is an unlikely event. Most people simply don't do it, don't get it done. Many of you have accomplished this thing while holding a job, having a family. You're going to understand very quickly that that is part of the lesson. The fact is, nobody goes to the circus to watch somebody juggle one ball. And the fact is, there isn't a job out there that you want that is going to require you to just juggle one ball. You're going to have to do lots of things and have to do them well. You've done them thus far in your life extraordinarily well. So thank yourself for that. Now, if you're like a lot of folks who, as alluded to by the student speaker, have taken more than a typical 4-year tour to get through here, the fact is, almost certainly you came to a point where you were pretty tired and pretty disappointed and perhaps wanted to quit. You remember why you didn't. If it was a person, and it probably was, you find that person, you thank them. You thank them because they deserve it, and you thank them because you're going to need that ally again. You're going to find another place in your life where it's tough and where you just want to quit. You got to have somebody you can call. Say, could you give me that speech just one more time? Tell me about what you expect of me. Tell me how proud you'll be. You need that ally? Call them up and thank them. And the last thing I want you to do is I want you to find a member of this great faculty and I want you to thank them. Because the reality is this. Without their efforts, without their guidance, without their obvious discipline expertise, without their demands for quality, these things we handed out today would be a piece of paper between two pieces of plastic. The only thing that makes it worthwhile, the only thing that makes it transferable, the only thing that makes it recognizable by all other accredited universities in the country is their effort, their credentials, and their demands on you. The faculty is the keeper of quality, and you had a quality education. I promise you that our faculty does not do it for the fame and the fortune. The fact is, they care. Sometime in the next 24 hours, thank 3 people. They all deserve it. Thanks.
Thank you, President Hamilton. Today we give special recognition to UAF faculty and staff upon their retirement. Regent Thomas will present the resolutions. Will those receiving emeritus recognition today please stand? Regent Thomas, I am pleased to announce these candidates for the conferring of emeritus rank. Each has served the University of Alaska Fairbanks for at least 10 years and has been recommended by their colleagues.
Thank you, Regent Lynn, or Chancellor Lynn. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the emeritus rank as listed in the official commencement program.
The emeritus candidates will be called forward by Provost Reichart.
As I call your names, will the emeritus candidates please come forward to receive your resolutions from Regent Thomas. Bill Brody, Professor of Art, Emeritus. Brian Paus, Professor of Fisheries, Emeritus. Donald W. Shell, Professor of Marine Sciences and Water Resources, Emeritus. Albert V. Tyler, Professor of Fisheries, Emeritus. Ann M. Tremorello, University Registrar, Emerita. I would like to add that Ann has been the driving force behind our commencements since 1957. Commencement 2002 is her final production, and we will greatly miss her.
I think we'll probably want to bring Ann back as a commencement consultant. Having attended over half of them, I think she'll have a lot to offer us. Half of the 80. There are others receiving emeritus recognition who are not here today. Their names are listed in your program. In conferring honorary degrees upon eminent individuals, the University of Alaska Fairbanks honors itself. Today, the presence of our distinguished honorees makes this a most memorable occasion. The complete citations accompanying the degrees are printed in your commencement programs. Regent Hardenbrook, I'm pleased to present John J. Burns.
John J. Burns, respected marine mammal biologist, is recognized for his pioneering research and his contributions to the scientific understanding of Alaska's Arctic and subarctic. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents, under the Constitution of the State of Alaska, I confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto.
Regent Rogers, I'm pleased to present Corey Flintoff.
Corey Flintoff, native Fairbanksan, is recognized for his commitment to journalistic integrity and to increasing the understanding and education of citizens in Alaska, the country, and the world. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents, under the Constitution of the State of Alaska, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto.
Regent Burns, I am pleased to present Yaroslav Nesetril.
Yaroslav Nesetril, mathematician and artist. He is recognized for his extensive and lauded research in mathematics and for his collaborative innovations in the arts and sciences. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents under the Constitution of the State of Alaska, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto.
Regent Burns, I'm pleased to present David Salmon.
David Salmon, lifelong Alaskan, is recognized for his many years of service and commitment to cultural pride, spiritual growth, and intellectual development among all Alaskans. By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Regents under the Constitution of the State of Alaska, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto.
Would you please stand for the singing of Alaska's flag by Heather Hosaffel?
Eight stars of gold on a field of battle. Alaska's flag, may it mean to you the blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes and the flows nearby, the gold of the early sourdough stream, the precious gold of the hills and streams, the brilliant stars in the northern sky, the bear, the dipper, and shining high the great master with its steady light, o'er land and sea a beacon bright. Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, the simple flag of Alaska's frontier.
As we close the ceremony, a personal word to the class of 2002. Earlier, I said we are proud of our graduates. Now I add, we become more proud this afternoon as you become UAF graduates. We will enjoy watching your achievements and successes in the future as UAF alumni. Everyone is invited to attend the commencement reception sponsored by the Fairbanks chapter of the University of Alaska Fairbanks Alumni Association. A reception will be held in the Pioneer Room in this building immediately following the ceremony. I ask the audience to be seated until the recession of faculty and graduates is completed. Will the faculty and graduates please rise? Thank you.